Hello everyone, welcome to this class. This class we're going to deal with simple interest. This is one of the simplest maths we are doing in this chapter. Now, before we go into simple interest, let us explain what's a simple interest. When you borrow money from a bank or any institution, before you pay back the money, there is an interest expected of you to pay as a result of borrowing that money for a certain period of time. Or when you are saving money with an institution, there is an interest this institution pay to you for saving money with them. So the extra money they give to you for borrowing, for saving money with them, or the extra money you have to pay while paying back, is called the interest. Now, in this case, you're dealing with simple interest. What does simple interest? Simple interest means it is calculated simply at a certain percent or amount annually. Let's say you are saving 100 naira, you are supposed to pay 1 naira every year for saving you are supposed to be paid 1 naira every year for 700 naira with a bank. That 1 naira you're being paid every year is just a simple interest because it's simply calculated. So before we go into this, there are some terms we are going to check. Principal is the money you borrowed or the money you are saving. That's the principal, the initial money you saved with the bank or you borrowed from the bank. Percentage or rate is what determines how much you pay back extra if you are borrowing, or how much you'll be paid if you are saving. Interest, which I just explained now, the extra money. Amount means when you are saving 100 naira, you are supposed to be paid 1 naira every year. By the time you have paid that 1 naira, what do you have in your account? You now have 101 naira. So that 101 naira is your amount, which means it's like saying amount is, let's say amount is, let me call this P and call this R, call this I, call this A, okay? Call this, okay, I think I wrote rate twice, right? Then this per annum. Per annum is the rate, the annual rate. So amount simply means, amount simply means principal plus interest. Principal plus interest. Then per annum, this means per annum. Per annum is that when you're dealing with simple interest, and I want you to watch out for this, your rate is supposed to be in annual rate. So sometimes you might be confused when you're giving a monthly rate. Try to convert it the annual equivalent before you start solving. And this is the formula for simple interest. I, which is the interest, is equal to principal times rate times time. I think I missed time here. Time is the number of years. Take note, time is in years, an annual rate because we have per annum here. So when you are giving month, convert the month to year before you solve. So time all divided by 100. You know why this is divided by 100? In our last class we did percentage. You know, when you have a percent of something, you have to convert it to fraction first so you use it. So this 100 is converting this rate, which is in percentage, to 100. So let's solve the first example we have in this class. So we have calculate the simple interest on 45,000 naira, which is borrowed for 1.5 years at 8% per annum. Now we are sure this rate is per annum, and we are sure this time is in years, so we can just solve it simply with our formula, which says PRT all divided by 100. So what's our P? Our P is the amount, sorry, the value you are borrowing, because in this case is borrowed, while the rate is 1.5 year. The rate is 8%. This is supposed to be time. The time is 1.5 years and the rate is 8%. So simply put it in the figure. 45,000 naira times 1.5 times 8 all divided by what? 100. So by the time you solve for this, you are getting that your interest is 54 naira. Let's go to the next example. In this example 15, we are being asked at which rate percent per annum is simple interest paid when 5,380 naira yields an interest of 170 naira 40 kobo in 6 months. Now we have that our interest formula is P times R times t all divided by 100. And now in this case, you're looking for the rate. You understand? So make rate the subject of the formula. You know how you do it? Cross multiply. You have that p times r times t is 100 times the interest. So the p and the t will go to the other side of the equation. We now have the r is 100 times the interest all divided by p times time. Please, this is interest I and this is time. So this is the formula we are going to use. Now let's bring out our values. First thing we have to bring out is what? The principal. What's the principal? Our principal is 5,680 naira. What is our interest? Our interest is 117 naira 40 kobo. What's our time? Our time is 6 months. And remember what I told you, it must be in year. So what is 6 months in year? So 12 months make 1 year. So this is equal to 6 over 12, which is 1 over 2. So these are the values you're using, this, and that. So we bring it back to the equation we just derived. Our rate will be 100 times the interest, which is 117 naira 40 kobo, all divided by 1 over 2 times principal, which is 5,680 naira. So by the time you solve for this with your calculator or any, you are getting that your rate is 6% per annum. The rate is always in annual. Is the annual rate that we are calculating for. So this is your answer. Very simple. So for this exercise 3G, number 1A, we have calculate 250 for 8 years at. We will calculate the simple interest of the following: 250 naira for 8 years at 6% per annum. So in this case, for the A, we know that P is 250 naira, R is 6%, and time is 8 years. So this is in years already. We don't need to do much. Just use our formula, which states that PRT over 100. So I will now be 250 times 6 times 8, all divided by what? 100. And by the way you solve this, you have 120 naira as your answer. Then for the E part, you have that your P is 22,140 naira, and your R is 8.5, while your time is 1 year and 4 months. Remember what I said, everything should be in annual value. This is already per annum, so we don't have issue. This is in year and month, so we have to convert this to year only before we can solve. So our time will be 1 year already, plus converting these months to 4, you divide by 12, because 12 months makes 1 year. So 4 months equivalent to the 1 year is this, which is 1/3. So your time is 1/3 years. You understand? You can convert this whole 1 year and this to months, which will give you 12 months plus 4 months, which is 16 months, and divide by 12, you still get the same answer. At the end of the day, you will still get 4/12, which will still boil down to this. So this is what we are going to use to solve. Our interest will now be principal, which is 22,140 naira, times rate, which is 8.5, times year, which is 1/3, all divided by what? 100. So after solving, you are having 2,460 naira. So please always make sure that your time is in year, and the easiest way to do it is when you are giving it in month, divide it by 12. That's the way you can convert it from, or you can check our class on fraction in this list. You see where we do conversion of a value to fraction of another value. So month is a fraction of year, so you can know how you can express month as a fraction of one year or year. Let's go to the next example. So it says in number 2, we are told to calculate the principal that will earn interest of 8,000 naira in 12 years at 7.5% per annum. Now let's go. So for number A, we all know that our interest is PRT over 100. So you make P the subject of the formula by cross multiplying. You now have PRT equal to 100I. So take this to the other side of the equation. So your principal is 100I over R times T. So this is the formula we've been using. Excuse me. So for our A, our principal is what we are looking for. Our interest is 8,100 naira. Our time is 12 years. This is already in years, so we don't have much to bother ourselves. While our rate is 7.5 per annum. So we use this formula. P, which is what we are looking for, is 100 times the interest, which is 8,100 naira, divided by the rate, which is 7.5 times 12 years. So by the time you solve for this, you are getting 9,000 naira as your principal. Let's go to the D part. In this D part, our interest is 16,289 naira. Our time is 4 years and 4 months, while our rate is 4%. Remember, everything must be in years, so we'll convert our time to year. It will be 4 years plus 4 over 12 years 2, so which will give us 4 whole number 1 over 3 years. So this is what we are going to use to solve. So let's put the formula. P will now be 100 times the interest, which is 16,289, all divided by 4 whole number 1 over 3 times 4, which is the year and the time and the rate. So our answer will give us, when you solve your calculator, 93,975 naira. So the next is number 3. 15,960. Okay, find the time which 15,960 naira will amount to this at 5% per annum. You amount to 19,152 naira. So you put this money for a certain period of time, and after some certain time, which is what we are looking for, we got this, and we are being told to find that time. So now this is an amount, meaning the interest is already added to this. So let's locate the interest. Interest is, as I said, amount. Okay, let me start with amount is principal plus what? Interest. So if you make interest the subject of the formula, your interest will now be amount subtracted amount minus the principal, which is the same as, this is your amount, 19,152 minus 15,960. Are we together? So this will give me 3,992 naira. So we are looking for the time to get this. First, our simple interest, which is P times R times T all over 100, right? If I'm to make this R the subject from which we've done in our previous class, R is the same thing as 100 times interest all over principal times time. And mind it will be in annual per annum. So let's go. So in this case, I will have my R is 100 times my interest, which is now 3,992, all divided by my principal, which is this 15,960 times. I think I made a mistake. What I'm looking for here is my time, not my R. So if I'm to go by that, this is time and this is rate. So let's change it here too. This is time. If you make time the surgery formula from this equation, this is what you are going to get. So you can try that on your own. I don't need to show it anymore. So times my rate is what? 5%. So after solving for this, you're going to get 5, and that 5 will be in years. If you have fraction, that fraction is like fraction of 1 year, which you can solve and get months out of it, but this is in years. Let's go to the next example. Calculate the rate percent. So in this case, rate, that's where we're going to bring that initial. The formula for rate is 100 times interest, all divided by principal times time. Please let's not get confused by this mistake we did here. So my percent at which this is the principal. My P in this case is 16,200 naira. We earn this, so my interest is 4,320 naira, and my time is 4 years. So let's put it inside the equation. We have 100 times my interest, which is 4,320 naira, all divided by the principal, which is 16,200 naira, times my time, which is 4 years. After solving for this, you are going to get CISO number 2/3%. Your rate is in percent. Always know the units of these values and the answers you'll be getting.